Lynn, we lost you. There we are. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to tell you that we are going to have an amazing event next Tuesday, May 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, 5 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. Europe, and lots of time zones in between. And it's a free event. It's a free discussion, teleseminar, sharing between myself, Lynne McTaggart. I'm an author of books like The Field and The Intention Experiment, and now my latest book, The Power of Eight, and my great friends, Dr.Eric Pearl, noted worldwide healer, and his partner, and one of the chief officers of the Reconnection, Jillian Fleer, who is also teaching with Dr. Pearl and witnessing, observing, recording, and teaching their latest findings too. So I'm just so excited because it's going to be an amazing conversation between the two of us. And we're finding certain distinctions, but also certain commonalities. And one of the biggest commonalities is that in both of our methods, if you want to call them that, in both of our experiences, people are getting healed in an instant. So, Eric and Jillian, what are you going to be talking about next Tuesday?
Well, part of what we want to talk about is the fact that both in your work, Lynn, and in our approach from Reconnective Healing, we are learning how to access healings immediately. And I play with the word instantly. People like to say they're instantaneous healings, except we're learning to function outside of time and outside of space. Therefore, an instant being a measurement of time, it's even faster than an instantaneous healing, which is an odd concept, but it just demonstrates how we are all learning to explain and demonstrate and discover concepts that are functioning in a non-linear fashion, yet we're still having to explain and teach using our linear languaging.
But I do think that it's a wonderful space-time, where we can really have a candid conversation about this. You know, I don't think we could be openly really looking at so many of the concepts that you're uncovering, Lynn, in your research and in your Power of Eight group and in your new book. And a lot of what we're now seeing in our latest research and findings, our students who are really informing us in our training programs, and the feedback that we're getting, which is what's really happening out there? What are we really connecting to? What are the characteristics of this force? Well, we call it the it factor. You are exploring it through the power of intention, but we are seeing so much that we can really share and talk about now. And I'm excited about that.
Well, and I think what's so exciting is, just as you said, Jillian and Eric, in a way we're students because we're observing new phenomena. I mean, I was playing around with retro intention techniques some years ago, a couple of years ago, because there was some good evidence showing that time is one big now and space is one big here. So I would have people go back and intend at the moment, for the moment that something developed, to have something else, a different trajectory, and over again have seen a different trajectory going forward. Maybe they didn't change what did happen, they've changed what has happened since. And that is just makes us get the idea that time is really elastic. But also, as you said, there's so many it factors. I think one of the really interesting things we're both going to explore is the idea of getting off of yourself. Yeah. And that means different things to you and Eric and Jillian, and different things to me. For me, one of the big things that I've been working with is small groups and the instant healing effects of small groups. But they're even more powerful when you're not intending for yourself, when you're doing something altruistic and you're sending intention to someone else. And that, I think, is my big it factor, to be honest.
And I think that is an amazing, just overall, let's just say breakthrough in how we think, You know, last year we decided to bring our first part of the program into what we call our online essentials, which is an 8-hour exploration. But what it takes you to now is our live immersion is called the One Experience, which stands for observe, notice, and experience. And I think that is another part of this commonality right now, where we are really seeing what happens when we engage what we'll call, in our case, the it factor, the reconnective healing frequencies, in this exchange of being the observer and the observed, you know, really noticing what it is that we're experiencing, and then sort of putting that together, as you say, in this sort of altruistic way, in terms of who are you, who are we one? I mean, really,
Absolutely.
This is consciousness.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's the bottom line here is that we're learning new ways to heal, and new ways to heal ourselves, each other, and the planet. And we both feel in a lot of ways like we're both incredible explorers on the cutting edge of amazing new findings, and that we are taking dictation. So please join us. Come next Tuesday. It's Tuesday, May 22nd, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, 5 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. Europe, and everything else in between and beyond. And remember, this is a totally free event just for you all. It's live on my Facebook page, Lynne McTaggart 2011. It'll be running through Dr. Pearl's page too. Any last things you want to say, guys, before we wave goodbye and tell people to come back next week?
Well, you know, when we talk about the fact that in teaching this work, we're learning. In facilitating healings for others, we're receiving our own healings ourselves. And I just learned one thing from this brief little interaction that we shared with you right at this moment, Lynn, that retro healing does not mean I have to wear bell bottoms and platform shoes.
And it also,
God, that ship has sailed. Absolutely.
It also means, Lynn, that Dr. Pearl's excited enough to be up at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time too. So
I told you this webinar is going to be all about miracles do happen. So,
Yeah.
So join us next Tuesday, May 22nd, and totally free event. We welcome you on Facebook, and tell all your friends about it too. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye. See you soon. Bye, Lynn.